Hello and welcome to Banking Frontiers Live. I'm Sneha Agrawal and today I'm here to introduce you to one of the leading lady luminaries of the BFSI sector on the occasion of International Women's Day. Today we have Namrata Sehgal from Subke. Welcome, ma'am.
Hi, Sneha. So I'm actually the head of marketing, communication, and social performance management at Subke Impact Solutions Limited. So we are a digital finance company, a fintech essentially, and we serve as a bridge between banks and the end customer, which is the last mile. And we essentially service the bottom of the pyramid segment. We want to make sure that they have access to basic banking facilities and financial services and products. So that's the vision and mission of my company.
Okay. So today we'll be talking about risk taking. So, ma'am,
Yeah.
what are the top 2 or 3 risks that you have taken in your professional career?
Yeah. So I've been a science student till 12th. And pursuing law, I think choosing to pursue law after 12th was a major diversion from my path or a risk that I took at that early age. I mean, I almost boarded the train to Bangalore to pursue BSc in biotechnology, and something just caught me back, I think. And I opted to stay at home. I opted to pursue law. And I think it's paid off in the long run, but that was a big risk I took at that point. Then after my post graduation, I'm a postgraduate in law as well. I did my constitutional law from University of Lucknow, and after doing my post graduation, I opted to work with an NGO focused on female feticide and child rights instead of going on the beaten path to a legal practice or working for a law firm. So I mean, I knew it would not do me any favors climbing the corporate ladder or pay me the big bucks, but it was just something that really called out to me at that point. And that's another risk I feel I took at that stage. And the third one would definitely be taking a break in 2018 and opting to pursue MBA with IIM Bangalore. So I think that was a big chance I took. I was married, I was working, and it meant a full 1 year break away from family, away from working as such. So that was again a big risk I took. I completed my post graduation in 2012. So that was 6 years after completing my education that I again went back to the books. So yeah, another risk.
So that was quite an adventurous journey from a science student to law and then joining an NGO and then again
Absolutely.
studying MBA.
Yep, it was.
So, what are the lessons that you have learned from these major risks?
Firstly, that I am an adventurous person. I mean, I often think that I'm very cautious when it comes to taking these decisions. I overthink maybe, but at the core of it, I do take risks. I am an adventurous person. And I believe that, you need to really step out of your comfort zone to make things happen in your life. So, you can't really get up every morning, think the same thoughts, take the same actions, and expect different outcomes. So that is something that I feel that people miss out on. We keep hoping, we keep believing, life is going to change, but it won't unless we do something about it. So definitely stepping out of your comfort zone is a big lesson I learned during my professional journey. And the second thing, I believe that everybody dreams, right? We've all got big dreams, be they personal or professional, but then we put a lot of conditions on those dreams. So, I will pursue XYZ once I reach this age, or, I will do ABC once I have attained this degree or whatever. So I believe that those conditions really become big inhibitors for us and they've got to go. So, I mean, we've got to have that clarity. We've got to believe in what we want to achieve and just go for it. Because those conditions are essentially very external and they're just perspectives at the end of the day. So that's really something that I believe that I've learned over time. And obviously, you've got to block out the white noise. I mean, yeah, I've done MBA. I know what a premium the brand brings to me. I mean, I'm Bangalore graduate, so that's really opened a lot of doors for me. It's gotten me to positions of responsibility, which I earlier would have taken a longer time to reach, I guess. But that MBA did not change me as a person. It did not really change the way I work or I think. But it's all about, like I mentioned before, external perspective. It's about what people see when they look at you. So even though I may not have changed, people have different expectations of me now. But if I keep thinking about that, I will obviously falter. I will feel very nervous. I may not really live up to my potential. So you've got to block out all of that noise and have very, very sharp focus on what you want to achieve and where you want to go. Change your path as often as you want, but have clarity. Yeah.
Definitely. So about stepping out of the comfort zone. So even I'm trying to keep doing new things and step out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, I can see that. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next question. How do you overcome the fear that is associated with these major risks?
So I believe in being prepared. Yeah. So I know that I'm not very risk averse. I know that I will think a lot before I really try something new. And I tend to tread on the side of caution. That's the reality of who I am as an individual. So I will evaluate the situation. I will chalk out, what is the worst case scenario essentially, and then I will prepare for it. That's it. So I have usually countered, what potentially could go wrong by feeling more confident, by preparing more. So I know, I'm going to take this step. This can be the worst that'll come of it, and I'm ready to face it. So I'm more confident that way. That's how I counter that fear.
That's wonderful. So how do you draw the line between risk taking and gambling?
Again, I would say preparedness. Gambling is essentially leaving everything up to chance. So you roll the dice, or you are dealt with whatever cards you have, but you give up control. You don't have any control whatsoever on what might the results be. So you don't want to be in a situation where you can't do anything to turn the tide in your favor. And gambling is essentially that. So with risk taking, like I said, like you really walk into the situation with your eyes wide open, knowing full well what the consequences of your actions can be. And you are capable or prepared enough to deal with or to bear those consequences. So that's the primary difference between gambling and risk taking, in my opinion.
Okay. So do you see any major differences in risk taking between men and women?
I think that is the case, but I mean, women do have to factor in a lot of parameters when they take major decisions, right? So you have a lot of social dependencies. You have to take care of a lot of those obligations, while men do have a wider social safety net per se. But I think at the end of the day, it is a very individual choice you make when you are taking those decisions, be it a man or a woman. I think what really matters is who you are as an individual, where you are, in your life at the moment, what is your situation, in terms of your career path, where are you, what stage in your life. So all of those things will have a more major impact, I believe, on the decisions you take or the risk taking ability you have. Because if you assume that there's a man who has a family to feed, you won't really imagine him throwing caution to the winds and taking a big career gamble at any stage. So that's what really matters at the end of the day, like who are you as a person, and not really what gender you call yourself.
A lot of factors should be considered.
Absolutely, yes. Yes.
So moving on to the last question. What books would you like to recommend
Yeah.
for younger women?
So I honestly don't read a lot of nonfiction. I believe that self-help books are, just another way to make the author and the publication rich, because whatever major decisions you take in your life, or whatever fundas or mantras or theories these books really, teach you about as such. But at the end of the day, it really matters who you are in that situation. What is going through your head, what is your belief system, what do you value most. So I think those decisions are very intimate, and you can't really, make everything very generic by putting it in a 200-page book and throwing it out into the world. No, not everyone will subscribe or prescribe to your views. So I don't believe in reading a lot of nonfiction. But yeah, when I was doing my MBA, my mindset changed a bit, in terms of, we had a lot of exposure to case studies here. We had a lot of interactions with people in the business world who've done well for themselves, who've really, tackled challenges, or things have really not gone their way. So those are also lessons for us. So I did imbibe a lot of those case studies. And I am a very voracious reader of the news. I don't really see a lot of news on networks anymore, news channels. But yeah, I'm a voracious reader of the news. And obviously, when it comes to my sector, my function, I'm pretty up to date with what is going on. But I think one book really stands out for me, which is 30 Women in Power. So it has been compiled, edited by Naina Lal Kidwai. So it's a book which celebrates women power, and it really, outlines what women in general are capable of and how much of an impact they can have on the world once they set their sights on it. So it really, tells the story of 30 women in their own voice. So these are corporate leaders from India who have really done well in their chosen fields. So from people like Arundhati Bhattacharya, Nirupama Rao, and Zia Modi. So there are very inspirational women in this. And I feel that Indian women, especially professional Indian women, will, find it really motivational. Although I would recommend the guys also to have a quick read. So it's a really nice book. I feel it's quite motivational, impressive. So I think you should also go through it.
Yeah, I'll definitely. It sounds very interesting. So thank you so much, ma'am, for being here and sharing those wonderful insights. We look forward to have more such conversations with you in the future. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for having me, and happy Women's Day, everybody.
Same to you.